guys, welcome back to my channel, Health There. So today I'm going to be talking about something that I think is really important for fourth year medical students and even those that are going to be reapplying to the match this coming season starting in September. So I know that I said I was going to talk about this a lot sooner, but I'm in my fourth week already of intern year and it's gotten a little bit busy. I've been having half-day clinic days and a bunch of logistics and signing documents and getting to know the hospital and meeting everyone that works there. So lots of meetings, lots of stuff, but I decided to make some time today. It's gonna be a hectic day for me, but I think that I can get this video done in a few so we can at least address the issue that most of you have some questions about residency apps. Talking about today applies only to Caribbean medical students or international medical graduates, IMGs. Why? Because I don't have the experience from the US medical graduate or US medical student side. Medical schools in the USA actually provide tokens to the applicants that will be applying in the coming cycle. For us, the IMGs, we had to purchase our tokens ourselves. And for someone who's been through the process more than once, I had to purchase a token multiple times. So as someone who knows what it takes and what it's like to get that rejection email that I've talked about, if you didn't match and you're reapplying and you don't know what you should have been doing this past year, I can kind of talk about that. If you don't know how to address a failed score or a low step score on your personal statements, I will be addressing that. Anything that you guys might wonder or have questions about, feel free to email me, contact me. My Instagram is down below, so make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be talking about a bunch of things about each of my electives, what it's like to be an intern, the things that go through your mind. That whole imposter syndrome thing, I thought it wasn't real. Guess what? Totally real. So it's kind of like a learning thing for a lot of us. And as someone who has been already an intern for almost a month, I have a lot of input, especially if you're going into family medicine. So we're going to be talking about 10 things to do to actually fill out or start your ERAS application. So ERAS is the system that you use to apply. ERAS will open up. You will be able to get your token through the ECFMG website. Once you have your token, you can go into ERAS, you can upload it, and you have access immediately. This poof, it just opens up for you. And there are tons of things for you to do, and sometimes you don't even know where to start. So if you're a fourth year medical student, you need a few things from your medical school. One is your transcripts most likely will have to be sent in. Second is your MSPE letter. So once you start applying, make sure that you let your school know, hey, I'm going to be applying this year. I'm going to need an MSPE letter. What do you need from me? Second, throughout your third and fourth year, I really hope, crossing my fingers, that all of you have been watching my stories when I talk about this. You guys should have been asking and letting your attendings know and your supervisors that, hey, by the way, in a few years, I'm going to be applying to residency and I would love to have a letter of recommendation from you. Not just any letter recommendation, a fantastic letter of recommendation, a great one. This is what I asked of all my attendings. I didn't ask for just a letter. I asked, would you be willing to write an amazing one? Because if the answer is no, and they're going to be honest, or they're going to be like, well, you know, then don't let them write one for you. Why? Because these letters of reference are very important for the people that are going to be looking at your apps. But before we get into letters of recommendation and all that kind of stuff, which you do need, I'm going to be talking about number one, your personal statement. So this is kind of something that a lot of people don't realize. Your personal statement is the most important, in my opinion, piece of the puzzle when it comes to your ERAS apps. Why? Because this is the only place that you can distinguish yourself from your fellow applicants. This is the place where you can talk about your trials and tribulations, where you address red flags, such as if you decelled for a year or a semester, if you failed a class in med school, if you failed step 1 or step 2 or CS, whichever, or if you got a really low score, or if you were found in some kind of violation of a rule. Any red flag should be addressed. Why? If you are upfront about it, it will not look like you're hiding something. If, however, you decide to kind of stay quiet and not even talk about it in your personal statement, and then you get to the interview and they ask you, you will not be prepared to answer this question. If you write a personal statement about it, you are going to know exactly how to answer this question when they ask you face to face. Why? Because you've taken the time to think about really what happened, how it made you feel, how you responded, how you coped with it. This is going to show the people who are going to be interviewing you or looking at your resume, looking at your application, okay, this person didn't do well, but look at what they said about it. Look at how they've grown. Look at what they've done after this. They didn't let it hold them down. They didn't, yes, okay, it affected them, but these are the things that were happening before. You can give them background as to what happened when it happened. So personally for me, when I didn't match the first time around, this is actually something I talked about in my personal statement. I talked about not matching. I talked about what I did when I found out I didn't match. I talked about how hard it was. I talked about how it was difficult. And then I said, but something happened. I turned it into a positive. It taught me something. I learned something. I grew stronger. It made me a better person. It made me a better doctor. It reignited a passion for medicine in me. Something like that. You need to turn obstacles into things that make you a better person, a stronger person, a better doctor, a stronger doctor, things like this. So use any trial and tribulation and turn it into something positive. Always give it a positive twist and show how you've grown and how it's going to help you be a much better doctor in the future. Why? Because going through tough things in life, yes, okay, it is painful, it is hurtful, but if it manages to completely destroy you, it just shows that you weren't able to overcome it. However, if despite your obstacles, you're able to find strength within yourself to keep pursuing something that people and scores keep telling you not to, then it's gonna be like, okay, this person has some perseverance. This is good. This is good. So this is something that you want. You want to show residencies that you are willing, that you are committed, that you are dedicated, and you do that by talking about your difficulties in medicine and facing them and how you overcame them. So please, please, please do not underestimate your personal statement. If you are in your third year, you still have 2 years to write this, but once you hit fourth, you better hit that ground running. You're going to be coasting mostly for the fourth year. You have really cool, chill electives, so you start, focusing on other things. But this is the best time for you to write your personal statement because you can focus on what you've done years 1 through 3. You can talk about everything. Once you've taken step 2 CK and CS, you can talk about it. If your scores have been released already, you can talk about them. If you didn't do well and you've already signed up to take it again, talk about it. Be upfront, be transparent. Do not look like you're hiding things. Residencies do not like that. So please do not underestimate your personal statement and get cracking on that. It is time. September's coming around, so if you haven't uploaded those yet, you better do it. Number 2, we're going to talk about your CV. What is your CV? Your curriculum vitae. It basically means your resume, what you have done up to this point in your career. Talk about groups you're in. Talk about journal club if you're in it. Talk about surgery club if you're in it. Talk about any woman in medicine thing. Talk about ANSA. Talk about any health fairs you've attended. Talk about volunteer work, research, anything that can be put in your resume to make it look like you are a good applicant, well-rounded. Talk about it. If you volunteer for a diabetes summer camp, talk about that. If you went on a retreat and you practiced some herbal, something medicine, whatever, talk about it. Anything that you've done inside, outside of medicine that will somehow show how well-rounded you are and how committed you are to health and wellness, talk about it. In my CV, at the end, when I put interest, I actually mentioned my health blog, I mentioned my YouTube channel, I mentioned my Instagram, I mentioned all of it. Why? Because it is a big part of me now. And I wanted to be very upfront with residency programs. You want to show them something about you that they cannot see from just numbers and scores and other people's letters about you. You want to be able to portray yourself as a real person. Hey, I'm a real person. Yes, I got this score, but on the side, I like skateboarding. I have a rock band. I have this. I fish for a living. I blah, blah, blah. I live on an island for 10 years. I don't know. Talk about it. Put it on your CV. Sound interesting. Make sure that you stand out so that they remember your face and your hobby. That will help. Number 3, score reports. What are these? Your step 1 score reports, step 2 score reports, step 3, if you have taken it, will be very beneficial to you. So you want to make sure you release the score reports and give every residency permission to access them. Now, when it comes to IMGs, step 3 can be a make or break thing. If you cannot pass step 3, do not take it. If, however, you are passing, take it, because passing it is kind of a way of letting residencies know, hey, The money that you invest in my education as a resident in your program will not be wasted because I have already passed step 3. There is no doubt that I can pass it. I have passed it. You have reassurance. All you need to do as a program is hire me and prepare me for the boards. Basically, a lot of residencies hire IMGs, and then when they can't pass step 3, guess what? They don't get their contracts reinstated. So they just spend a whole year, maybe 2, educating you, teaching you, making you into an amazing resident, and all of a sudden you can't pass step 3 and you can't finish your residency at their program. So make sure that if you're an IMG that has iffy step scores or red flags, make sure you take step 3 and pass. That way you give them a little bit of peace of mind and say, hey, okay, you know what? They didn't do great, but they passed step 3. All they have to do is give us a chance to help them pass the boards. And you have 3 years for that. Maybe 4, maybe 5, depending on what you choose to go into. So go ahead and take it if you can pass it. Also, it's very expensive. It's about $850, but I'll talk about that much later. I'm going to talk about actually prices and everything for applications much later in this video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But it's expensive. So if you don't have the funds, that's another problem you have to think about. If you're able to increase your student loans so you can cover that exam, make sure you do it. Point is, think about things that is going to improve your CV when you're applying and improve your outlook for residency programs when they look at you. I need to check the time because I'm actually, I have like about 30 more minutes and then I gotta run out of here. Okay, a little side note here. If you're applying to a program that you really want to get into, make sure you send them a personalized email. After September, after you've submitted your application September 15th, you're able to contact programs. You are not able to contact programs during the SOAP. That's a different strategy. So once you apply September 15th, if there's a program that you really want an interview at, send them a personalized email. This will help improve your chances of getting seen. Even if for some odd reason your application, because of your step scores, don't get seen by the residency program, the fact that you email them will make them look into who's applied, find your name, your application, and take a look. This is why step scores are so important, because a lot of residency programs can't interview 2,000 people and they have 2,000 or more applicants. So they use filtration systems. Step 1 and step 2 is their filtration. So the way to get seen once you've already been filtered out because of a low step score is to be, hey, I'm interested. Take a look at my application. Send them reminders. Be like, hey, I applied and I took my step 2 CK and my scores have been released. I just wanted to notify you that the scores are up, that you're able to access them. Or I just got my results for step 3. There's a reminder that you can check out my application because, hey, by the way, I passed. So these are things that you can do to kind of help your chances of getting interviews, okay? Number 4, your picture. Okay, so this is an important piece of the puzzle. Do not put a picture of you and your dog. Do not put a picture of you in a bikini or sunbathing or whatever, or making out with your significant other. This is a professional picture. Make sure you're wearing a tie if you're a gentleman and wearing a suit and a nice shirt if you're a lady. You can also, make sure you're not showing any of the privates and cleavage. Keep it decent. Keep it very professional. If you can, I know professional pictures are very expensive. You don't really need a professional to take your picture, but you do need it to look professional. So make sure that when you get it taken, you say, hey, if I were a headhunter and I were looking to hire someone or help someone get a job, what kind of picture would I be looking for? Make sure that your body language is very open, very welcoming. Don't be closed, don't look angry. Make sure you smile. Don't smile too much, don't smile too little, don't look too serious. You want to look approachable and amicable. This is going to improve your chances of getting looked at, all right? So make sure that that is in there. Number five, I may have already mentioned this, but your LORs. LOR, what the heck is that? Letter of recommendation. I kind of touched on this in the beginning of this video. Basically means nudge the people that you have requested letters from early. Make sure that you go into ERAS and you create the letter of recommendation request form. Save it on your computer, email it to the people that you are requesting a letter from. That way they can follow the instructions to submit it, and nudge them. They are busy doctors. They are not going, your application and your letter recommendation is not the most important thing in their mind when they have a dying patient, okay? So make sure that you send an email every week or so. oh, hey, Dr. So-and-so, just a quick reminder, wanted to let you know application season's coming up. I just wanted to see if I could help you, if you needed my CV, there's that letter again, if you need my CV to help you write my letter recommendation to submit hopefully later this week. And maybe send that a few more times. Make sure you start requesting the letters early and remind them a few times a month because they will forget, okay? They will forget, I promise. Number 6, the MSPE letter, which I have also already touched on. Hello? Oops, that's my alarm clock. I got 10 more minutes. The MSPE letter. All right, guys, this is when you contact your school. I also touched on this. Wow, I'm like ahead of my game here. What? Okay, so you ask your school, hey, I'm gonna be applying. What do you need from me? They will need a CV from you. They will need a bunch of things from you. They're gonna send you a questionnaire thing. You're gonna fill it out, and then they're gonna create a MSPE for you. And then they will send it to you what it looks like, and then you're gonna be like, yeah, that's fine. And then boop, they're gonna upload it. If you fail to match and you're going to reapply, sometimes, if I'm not wrong, you're able to pull in MSPEs from the previous application year as well as your letters of recommendation. But, okay, let me rewind a little bit. You can pull things back if you fail to match the year before into your current application. However, do not do that with your letters. Make sure that you get your letters updated. Every time you apply, make sure the letter is dated that application year. Why? Because it's very important that these letters are current, because if you maintain connections over long periods of time with these physicians, it's going to look to residency programs that you actually made good connections with them. Why? Because it means you've reached out yet again after a whole year of not speaking with them, and they were willing to yet again write you and give you a letter. That is a good thing, and that shows that you are someone that they are willing to do that for. So it just looks good for you. So just go ahead and do it. I know it's annoying, it's a nuisance to bother someone and ask for things after a year. So stay in contact because you never know what's going to happen. So don't disappear from people once you've gotten what you need from them. That is not how you do things and not how you handle relationships. You have to cultivate them, nourish them. They're like plants. If you don't feed them love, sunlight, and water, they're going to die and wither. And when you need them, they're not going to be there anymore. So cultivate your relationships. Also, when you're going to be a doctor in the future, you still need those connections anyway. So make sure you're nice to everybody. You never know. Okay, fine. I'm going on like on a tangent. Let's go. Let's get back into it. Number 7, a PTAL. What the hell is that? It stands for Postgraduate Training something, something, something. Authorization letter something, I think. It is for California programs if you're an IMG. This means that you need to pay a lot of money to get this letter done, so you can apply to programs in California. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed interviews in California. And applying to residency programs individually in California is an additional fee, which I'm going to talk about all the way in the end, so stay tuned. But the point is that this PTAL, you need to do it early because it takes about 3 months for them to draft it, and then it takes about 3 weeks since receipt of it by ERAS to upload it into the system. So it takes about 4 months for this letter to actually pop up. So you want to do this fairly early. I hope you've already done it by now, but you still have time. So if you do it now, you still have August, September, October, November. That hits it right in the middle of interview season, so you will be just fine. Just make sure that you do it, and hopefully you have the funds for it if you're actually wanting to stay in California. So as an IMG, get that PTAL ASAP. Ask your school. Numero 8. What you got now is programs. Oh my God. The slew of programs that you have in ERAS is overwhelming. There are other programs that you can pay money to that will help you filter out which programs are going to look at your application. I didn't do that. Why? Because I decided, okay, fine. I didn't do it. I did it the first year. I didn't do it the second year, and I didn't do it this past year. Why? It costs money. And on top of that, I realized that a lot of the things that were in there, it helps, but not enough. So I wanted to be more personal with it, and I started researching every program individually by myself. I went to the website, I looked at the recommendations, I saw, oh, this many years after graduating, oh, this is your minimum step score or average step score. Oh, you have other IMGs, oh, from Ross, oh, from St. George's, oh, from Columbia, or from here, or from whatever. You want to make sure that if you're an IMG, you look for programs who have IMGs in them already. Why? Because it means that they're open to IMGs and hiring IMGs. Don't apply to places that only hire people from American schools. Why? yes, you may have a good shot, but if they only hire people from American schools, your chances are fairly slim of getting in. I'm not saying don't apply. For by all means, if you want to apply and you have the money, go ahead and just do it. But I'm saying that your chances would be a little bit smaller than if you were from an American school, okay? Next, other things that you can look at for programs: their location. Look at their motto, their vision for the program, their mission in the program. See if you can, when you contact these programs by email in expressing your interest, you want to make sure that you pull things from their website and put them in the email and make it personalized. I'm really interested in so-and-so activities that you have, or so-and-so training or electives. I love that you do this early. I love that you do this, blah, blah, blah. Something like that, which makes me very interested in applying to your program. So I'm writing to let you know that, hey, interview me. I love you. Please, I really want you. Want me too. Okay, something like that, but not so needy. All right, number 9, fees. And I know this is a big one, so I'm gonna make sure that I get the fees right, and I'm gonna pull up my handy dandy cell phone. You ready? Here we go. Also, it's on my blog, so you can also, the link is down below. You can just click on it, go all the way to the bottom, and all the fees are there for you to see. Here we go. Your token fee, every time you purchase it, is $130. Ding, ding, ding. Your USMLE and complex transcripts. So complex is for DO schools, so that's important. $80. So to get that released, you have to pay $80. Your NRMP registration fee is $85. What the hell is NRMP registration? Important thing here. Thank God I read this. Okay. Your NRMP, you can't create a rank list without an RMP registration. So once you apply to programs, register for NRMP, NRMP, NRMP. Write this down. If you do not do this and you interview with 20 programs or 10 programs and you don't have an RMP registration, you cannot rank, you will not match, you would have spent money traveling and interviewing and applying for no reason. So get your token, get your NRMP, you're good to go. Okay? Next, ERAS program fees. Okay, so this is a part. If you apply to 11 to 20 programs, you're going to be paying about, okay, scratch that. If you apply to only 10 programs or up to 10 programs, you pay $99. $99. If you apply to 11 to 20 programs, you pay $15 per program. That's right. If you apply to 21 to 30 programs, $19. And if you apply to more than 31, it's $26 for each program you apply to. So this is when I say apply smart and use those cutoffs and those requirements and all those things. Make sure you pay attention. Put attention. Put attention. And I know that's not the way you say it, but I say it in my house because it's hilarious. So apply wisely, because your bank account can easily rack up $8 grand, and if you ain't got $8 grand just lying around in your house, like, you know, as you do, then you're not going to be able to pay for that application. So apply to all the programs that you want, which is what I wanted. And then when I saw how expensive it was, I was like, okay, which programs do I think I have a very slim chance of getting into because of their requirements? Let me go back through my list of programs and make sure that every program has a high likelihood of interviewing me, important, and hiring me, important. So make sure you look at that. Okay, and honestly, number 10 is just be yourself. When you're applying for residency programs, it looks very scientific, very strategic, very logistic. It's just numbers, and you have a personal statement which you can put some information in there, but you're not really sure what to say. So get help when writing that personal statement, because that's going to show who you are as a person, your values. I don't know if you guys know, I gotta get out of here. I don't know if you guys know a buddy of mine, Tommy Martin. He's combined med peds intern. Well, now he's a second year in a different state in Arkansas. Point is, his religion and his faith is very important to him. So he made sure to put that in his personal statement, because you want to show who you really are. Don't pretend to be something that you're not, because programs will find out eventually. And if you pretend to be something that you're not and you do match into a program and then you try to be who you really are, you realize that there's a huge disconnect with you and the program, and you're going to be miserable. Residency is hard enough. Please be yourself, and so that you can match with a program that actually meshes with your personality and that can cultivate your strengths and build your weaknesses, okay? You don't want to portray yourself as something that you're not. This is a huge misconception. Be true to who you are. Be yourself. I think that's the most important. That should have been my tip number one. But make sure that you show a lot of who you are through your personal statement. It's really the only way to do it. And in your picture. If you are a very serious person, then take a picture that looks very serious, but amicable. If you're a person that loves colors, then by all means, wear bright colors in your picture, but make sure it looks professional, not just bright. So there's a lot of information in this video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to email me, contact me, follow me on Instagram, subscribe ASAP to this channel because I'm going to be doing some more stuff. I don't think I can post every week at this point. I'm going to be starting ICU on Monday, which means I'm going to be working between 14 to 16-hour shifts, or maybe between 12 and 16 depending on the day. So I'll be pretty busy, pretty tired. I'm going to be working really hard to stay physically active during those hours. Plus I got to take care of my pup. So lots of things are going to be changing for me right now. So I decided to make this video before it gets even crazier than it already is. So I hope you guys have had an amazing day today, and thank you for sticking with me. I know it's a really long process. If by any means you have questions and you're scared and freaking out and concerned and you don't know what to do, message me, contact me. I always answer your messages if they're appropriate, okay? So feel free to reach out. I love answering your questions and your comments and stuff. Write stuff down below. If there's something you want me to talk about and dedicate a 3-minute teeny tiny video, 5-minute video to, that's part of the application process or residency or entering your, or whatever topic you want, put it down below so I can acknowledge it. I will respond to you and I will post about it. I will see you guys as soon as I can. I love you so much. Bye.